Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to present our topic today. Let me introduce my team. My name is Billy Agoriza.
My name is Jalita Baramada.
My name is Daniel Reftian. And today we will be presenting about event and career. Table of content. Chapter 1, Condition, Grammar, Passive Voice. Chapter 2, Sequence 1, Grammar and Clause. Chapter 3, Sequence. Chapter 4, Engineer, Grammar, Present Continuous for Present and Future. Chapter 5, Inventor, Grammar, Comparative Conjunction. Chapter 6, Interview, Grammar, Present Perfect, the Past Simple. Okay, my name is Bilal Boliza. Condition. What is condition? Condition is a particular state or situation of a person thinking, and can also mean a document that must be met. This includes physical aerospace. And next video.
Probably most of my life I've been interested in working with my hands, taking things apart, putting things back together, owning motorcycles with my father, working on motorcycles. That led me to moving to America. I can walk right outside of my front door when there's a rocket launch and just watch it go up, and I never thought for a second that I'd be actually here working on them. Hi, my name is Craig Shathui. I am an aerospace engineering technician. My job is to support and help with resupply to the International Space Station. We're dealing with equipment that helps do a serious job. We resupply the International Space Station with breathing air for the men and women that are up there. They rely on us to do a good job down here so that they can do their job up there. We use special design tanks. We have the NORS tanks, which are the nitrous oxide and oxygen resupply systems, or we have the COTS tanks, which are the commercial off-the-shelf tanks. Depending on what kind of situation we're in, we will either fill up the NORS tanks or the COTS tanks, and we will then send them up in a resupply mission up to the space station so they have their new breathable air. We also fill up their PBAs, which are personal breathable air bottles. It's just a personal air bottle that they can attach to themselves, and they will have breathing air.
This is the on-off switch. So if we had an emergency and we had to don these masks for a fire or some emergent reason, we have these staged all over the space station. You can push these buttons here and it inflates.
Example, passive. Positive. If the rocket, the pilot, the mission will be delayed. Negative. If the weather didn't get worse, the launch will stop. And next video.
What's the difference between first and second conditional? When can you use them both? When is the right time to use this one or this one? Well, the short answer. First conditional, we use that conditional for realistic situations. When something is likely to happen, it has a strong possibility of really happening. So a real situation. For example, in London, it rains a lot. So if we talk about the possibility of rain today, then I would use a first conditional because that possibility is strong. It's very likely that it will rain. So I use a first conditional in this form. If it rains today, I'll stay at home. The form if with a present verb, rains. Rains because it. And the result of that condition is in the future. I will or I'm going to. Both are okay. Again, I use this because in London, always rains. And the second conditional, we use that to talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations. Maybe that situation is not likely to happen, not a good possibility of it happening, or maybe it's impossible. For example, if I imagine that Superman comes here now, that's not realistic, it's not possible. So I would use a second conditional sentence. If Superman came here now, that sounds a bit strange. We're using a past verb with now. Well, if with a past verb, that's talking about imaginary situations now or in the future. So, if Superman came here now, I would say hello.
Hello!
First of all, you're not real.
I am real.
No, you're not. I'm imagining.
And next dialogue. We are discussing aircraft maintenance. If we finish the engine inspection today, we will start the calibration test tomorrow.
If the technical arrive on time, we will complete the wiring inspection.
If the weather stays stable, we will run the outdoor calibration test this afternoon.
If the nail pass perfectly, we will install the them right away.
If the aircraft has older components, we will need more time to repair it.
If the fuel fails, we will replace the three system.
If we have large maintenance team, we will finish this task in half the time.
If the sensor is defective, during flight, we will run emergency jumper test.
Okay, thank you, Willy. My name is Zakida Paramanda. The sequence one. The sequence is a series of elements, events, or steps that occur in order over time or according to a pattern, often essential for a process to run correctly, such as a book recipe, a movie storyline, or even in programming design. These several sequences. Sequence one is orientless system designer and human spacecraft and launch support system. Next video.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Burn out,
Engine
150
shutdown.
meters per second. Slightly below nominal. We're over 1 kilometer. Trunk deploy. Drugs look good. Sequencing the mains. Passing through 600 meters. Downrange distance.
Max nose and purple. Club.
grammar time clause. Time clause are when something happens using conjunctions like when, after, before, until, as soon as, and follow the. Sentence sample conjunction when, let's cross the bride, when we come into it, while, we'll keep on driving while there's still daylight, as soon as, the baby can cry as soon as he is born. Next video.
This is Everyday Grammar. I'm Lucia.
And I'm Kaveh. Lucia, what are you reading there?
It's a science fiction novel about time travel.
Time travel, huh? Does it have anything in there about time clauses?
Well, I'm not sure, but I can check.
A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A time clause introduces the clause with a word such as before or after.
To form a time clause, you use before plus subject plus verb, or after plus subject plus verb.
Before I went to work. After we finished our project.
A time clause can follow a main clause or be in front of a main clause.
Before I went to work, I ate breakfast. We celebrated with friends after we finished our project.
Sorry to interrupt, but you didn't explain what a main clause is.
I thought you already knew. A main clause is a complete sentence, like, I ate breakfast.
Oh yeah, I knew that. So you were saying?
So I was saying that you can put a time clause in front of or behind a main clause, and there would be no difference in the meaning.
We went to dinner after we finished our work.
And next dialogue. Okay, next sequence 2. A sequence is a series of elements, events, or steps that occur in order over time or according to a pattern. Often, essential for a process to run correctly, such a food recipe, a movie storyline, or even in programming and design. These example feature sequence 2, addiction sheets, and addiction sheet system, and sheets. Okay, next video.
So I waited till about 2,000 feet, which is where I pulled the handle, and I had about less than a second left to live.
That's Lieutenant Colonel Pete Smith, an Air Force veteran who spent his 28-year military career as a fighter pilot and has experienced an ejection firsthand. In TV and movies, a fighter pilot ejecting from their jet comes across as a cut-and-dry procedure. In reality, the process is complicated, violent, and leaves most pilots with severe injuries. About 20 to 30% of fighter pilots experience some sort of spinal fracture as a result. But in most cases, ejection seat technology is the difference between life and death. So, how exactly does this technology work? And what is it like to experience an ejection?
It is a complex question, and as a matter of fact, the ejection seat is probably the most complex piece of equipment within a fighter jet. As soon as you pull the handle, at 0 seconds, the first thing that's going to happen is you just send a signal to essentially start the process of ejecting.
This handle, which sits between the pilot's legs, sends an electrical impulse to the aircraft to release the bolts holding the cockpit's canopy in place. A set of small rockets in the front then push the canopy up and out of the pilot's way. Then, an explosive cartridge underneath the seat goes off to catapult the pilot out of the cockpit. This initiates the seat's rocket boosters, which propel the pilot 100 to 200 feet upward. Sensors within the seat measure the plane's speed and the ambient air pressure to determine whether the pilot is at a low altitude and the parachute needs to be deployed immediately, or whether they're at a higher altitude and the parachute needs to be delayed until they reach thicker air. In the latter case, the seat will still deploy a smaller chute known as a drogue, which helps lower the pilot's rate of descent and stabilize the seat from careening into a deadly spin. Once the main parachute is deployed, a motor automatically fires, finally releasing the pilot from the seat.
Engineers are professionals who appreciate mathematics and technology to design, build, maintain, and solving logical problems. So, us building bricks, developing software, or building machines, using technical thought and creativity to creative, innovative solutions in various industrial fields such as civil, mechanical, electrical, and IT. Experience for CV, job activity, CV, skill and skill is work.
I want to show you how to take a weak resume and turn it into a totally awesome resume. Now the most important part of the resume is this top section right here. This is your header section. This has your contact information, and this has everything that the interviewer is going to look at in the first 5 to 7 seconds, and those are the most important. So when I go through this resume here, I see the name, David Hill, way too small, so let's fix that. Boom, we just bumped that up to a much larger point, and it just really makes the resume pop. Now that we made the name bigger and it pops, let's take a look at the next line here, where he has a street address, he has an email address that says, I love cats. Nothing wrong with loving cats, just maybe not on the resume. And then he has a really long LinkedIn profile. So what we want to do is fix those like this. Now we have a name in a large point font, and we just say San Francisco, California. No need for all the other stuff. We have a very simple email address, dhill@gmail.com, and we have a personalized LinkedIn URL. Let's take a look at the next section. All right, the next problem with this resume is it doesn't communicate what he wants to be doing. Sure, it says he's good at project management, data analytics, and Java and open source, but it doesn't tell me what he wants to be doing. So we fix that with a very simple objective statement like this. Now we have an objective statement that says Senior Director of Software Engineering. So I know that he wants to be a director level, executive manager, software engineer in the healthcare industry. That simple statement tells me a lot. You may have heard that job objective statements are passé, and the old style ones are where people write this big long paragraph that explains everything that they want to be doing. Those are dead. What you want is a simple job objective statement that instantly communicates what you're looking for. Now, if I'm a hiring manager and I'm looking for a director of software engineering and I read this resume, you know what?
Present continuous for present and future. The present tense is a passive form in English grammar. It is primarily used to describe action happening at the moment of speaking. It also has a significant function in talking about the formula. Subject plus to be plus going to plus part one plus object. Example. First, I am going to finish my CV tonight. Negative, he is not going to apply for the job.
TSL Library. Simple future with be going to. What are verb tenses? Verb tenses show the time that an action takes place. The simple future is a verb tense. We use the simple future tense for actions that will happen at a future time. There are three ways to express the simple future tense in English. We use will and a base verb to decide on a future action at that moment. For example, I will do my homework tomorrow. We use be going to and a base verb to talk about existing future plans. For example, I'm going to clean my house next weekend. We also use be and an ing verb to talk about existing future plans. For example, I am taking my dog for a walk after class. The simple future with be going to is very common, especially in spoken English. It is followed by a base verb. The be verb changes forms depending on the subject. I am going to buy a new car next year. She is going to take her dog to the vet in 3 days. The students are going to graduate 2 weeks from now.
Dialog. Danu and Faiz are reading the CV. Danu, what are you doing right now?
I am updating the CV. I want it to look more professional.
I am going to send my CV to the HR manager tomorrow.
I am going to apply for the engineering position next week.
I am seeing my portfolio at the moment, and I am going. I domain application radar.
We are working on now, and we are going to finish everything before midday.
Inventor. An inventor is an individual who is in the world to create something new, whether it is product, process, or innovative. Yeah. They often with a high level of education and motivation to achieve.
Biolistic or gene gun transfection is a physical means of transfecting cells by bombarding tissue with high-velocity DNA-coated particles. This technique is an efficient and easy means of transfecting neurons and is especially useful for transfecting only a small number of cells in tissue slice. For example, in fluorescent microscopy studies aim to examine neuronal morphology in an intact slice, biolistic transfection facilitates visualization of individual neurons in a clean background of non-transfected cells. In this video, we demonstrate a method for making DNA-coated gene gun bullets and then performing biolistic transfection on organotypic hippocampal slice cultures. Hi, I'm Georgia Woods. I'm a graduate student in the laboratory of Dr. Karen Zito at the University of California at Davis. Today I will demonstrate how to make DNA-coated bullets and how to perform biolistic transfection on rat hippocampal slices. The basic steps underlying biolistic transfection are to 1. Coat gold particles with the DNA to be transfected. 2. Coat the inside of the plastic tubing with this gold. 3. Cut the tubing into cartridges to load into the gene gun. And 4. Shoot the tissue to be transfected. So let's get started. So before we are ready to transfect, we first need to prepare the DNA-coated bullets. This will entail...
Comparative conjunction. Comparative conjunction is connecting worded conjunction to connect to grammatical element with the aim of opening on element with other element. This type of conjunction usually uses direct comparison word. Do not use metaphors or figures of speech.
Before we begin, does anyone have a thermometer? The sun and this lava are arguing about which of them is hotter. Anyone? Anyone? Hey, who likes jokes? Yeah! Knock, knock. Wet. Wetter. The band, everybody. Anyway, do you know what an adjective is? Yes, an adjective is a word that describes something, and a comparative is an adjective that compares. For example, let's compare the words glasses and spectacles. Glasses is a long word. Spectacles is a longer word. When comparing, we often add an ER to the end of a word to make a new word. Okay, let's compare again. The blue mouse is small. The red mouse is banana. No? Are you sure? All right, I need to add an ER. Okay, how about the blue mouse is small? The red mouse is banana-er? Okay. How about the blue mouse is small? The red mouse is smaller. One more thing. When an adjective has a Y at the end, we change the Y to an I and then add ER. For example, the red mouse is happy. The blue mouse is happier. Oh, great. Now the sun and the lava are...
Billy and Daniel are discussing the big gun and comparing it to the other genetic tools. Billy, the gene gun is more efficient than semiconductors, but less precise than this pair. Asteroid regularly inspects short palindromic repeats. Yes, it delivers DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, more easily than older techniques. Although the species is still very useful for crops. Exactly, it saves time, but CRISPR is better for targeting specific genes. But the tool has gained time would again for quiz experiment. Waiting for an interview. And next video.
Good afternoon. You must be Mr. Wang.
Yes, good afternoon.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Mrs. Clark, the bank manager. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself, Mr. Wang.
Well, I grew up in China and studied accounting. Then I worked at an accounting firm there for 2 years before coming to the States. I work well with others, and I like to challenge myself to constantly improve my skills.
That's great. As you know, this job is for a bank teller. What would you say are some of your strengths or skills that might help you succeed in this job?
My biggest strength is my attention to detail. That has helped me a lot in this line of work. Also, I work well under pressure.
Wonderful. And what would you say are some of your weaknesses?
One of my biggest weaknesses is asking for help when I need it. I'd like to do better at that.
I appreciate your honesty, Mr. Wang. What can you tell me about some of your goals over the next few years?
My primary goal is to gain more work experience, so a position like this would help me meet that goal. I'd also like to learn more about the different aspects of banking.
I think those goals are very smart. I also want to ask you what salary range you'd be most comfortable with.
I would be hoping to start somewhere between $35,000 and $38,000 a year, which is based on my experience in education.
Thank you. Those are all the questions I have for you today. Do you have any questions for me?
Can you tell me about the working hours?
We'd like whoever fills the position to work 9 to 5 each weekday. There may be some occasional overtime.
All right. Thank you. And when do you expect to be making your decision?
We'll give you a call within a week and let you know. Do you have any other questions?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
Well, if you think of any more, you're always welcome to call me.
Thank you so much.
It was great to meet you. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you as well.
Present perfect with past simple. Present perfect describes past action or stats connected to the present, while simple past describes completed action as a specific condition time in the past with no current collection. Formula: subject plus have or has plus verb 3 plus conjunction plus subject plus verb 2 plus object. Subject plus be plus verb 3 plus conjunction plus subject plus to be plus object. Present perfect with past simple. Positive: I have received positive feedback saying since I prepared thoroughly for the interview. Negative: he has not heard back from the employer because he submitted the follow-up email too late.
Present perfect and past simple both refer to past events, but they're used differently. Present perfect connects to the present. Past simple does not. In this lesson, we'll explore the differences between past simple and present perfect and when to use each. Past simple is used with finished time expressions. A finished time expression is a word or phrase that refers to a specific time in the past that has finished. For example, last week, yesterday, last year, 2 days ago, 2024, and so on. Let's look at 2 examples. They worked hard yesterday. James wrote 2 books last year. Present perfect is used with unfinished time expressions. That is, periods of time that are ongoing, that have not yet finished. For example, this week, today, this year, so far, up to now. It's for this reason that present perfect is used to talk about life experiences. Here's an example. I have not visited Finland. This is an unfinished time expression because what I'm really saying is I have not visited Finland in my life. I could still visit Finland because I'm still alive. It's an unfinished time period. If I were to use past simple, I would need to use...
And next dialogue. Ais is asking Daniel about the interview result. Ais, Daniel, have the interview result been finalized since the last panel interview was on Friday?
Yes. Here we have decided to take candidates because the technical performance were outstanding.
Good. What about the marketing position?
The concept has not been recommended because the portfolio was incomplete.
I see. Has the offer letter been sent to the first candidate since we made the decision yesterday?
It has been seen this morning because I wanted to see
Excellent. Have you been contacted by any candidate or their injection email went out?
Only Sir Billy has called because he was disappointed with back.
Why has he been disappointed since we gave detailed reason?
He has listened method on point because the expression was too technical.
Then please clarify also. Has the interview schedule been revised because the director was unavailable?
It has been sent. I am waiting for the new text from his secretary.
Before we close our presentation, do you have any question or suggestion related to our topic?
My name is Faida Karim. I'm from veterinary. I have questions about what are the main challenges in developing rocket and satellite technology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And more?
And why is it so important?
Thank you.
Okay. What are the main challenges in developing rocket and satellite technology? Answer. The main challenges include high development costs, advanced technology requirements, and safety issues. Engine efficiency, material strength, and precise control systems are also critical challenges. In addition, environmental impact and space discrete management are becoming important concerns in modern aerospace development. Do you agree with my answer?
Yes, I agree.
Next question. What is the law about system? And why is it important? A launch abort system is a safety system designed to quickly separate the crew capsule from the rocket in case of an emergency during launch. It is important because it protects astronauts by moving them away from danger, such as an explosion or system failure, and increasing their chance of survival. Do you agree with my answer?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your attention and bring us to the end of our presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.